so Primula offers to pay him 10 gold coins for them, which is equivalent to 2 million yen. For the first time since he got here, Kenichi has an 8-figure bank balance. Since things are going so well for him, Kenichi decides it's time to start setting up his peaceful life and purchases a house from his store. The following day, he leaves the city walls and ventures into the forest to find a suitable spot for his new home. Before heading out, he mentioned his plan to Azalea so she wouldn't worry, though she found it odd that Kenichi would willingly choose to live in the dangerous forest instead of staying within the safety of the city. After finally finding a good location, Kenichi buys a weed whacker and begins clearing the area. However, he quickly encounters an issue. While most items from his store are reasonably priced, fuel is expensive no matter what world you're in. With no way around the high cost, Kenichi decides to just deal with it and continues working until he has successfully cleared a path for himself to move in and out of the forest. After that, he needs to start working on getting rid of all the trees. So, he buys a chainsaw and starts cutting. After several hours of hard work, Kenichi has finally managed to cut through a bunch of the trees in the area. So all that's left is to move them out of the way. However, when he tries to stuff the trees in his item box, it doesn't work. It looks like the trees are too long to fit, so he's going to have to bust out the chainsaw and cut them down into more manageable pieces. He eventually shortens the trees into 10-meter logs, and this way, he's able to fit them in his item box. So he's almost done with the tree removal. The only thing left to do is pull out all the tree stumps, but that's going to be a lot of work, and the sun is already setting, so he decides to come back and finish up tomorrow. The next day, Kenichi heads back to the forest to continue working, but after spending some time digging at the stump, he realizes the task is far too demanding for a middle-aged man like himself. Rather than risk injuring his back, he decides to buy a bulldozer instead. However, as soon as he sees it, he's hit with the realization that he just spent 1.2 million yen on heavy machinery simply to avoid manual labor. He feels a bit of regret about the splurge, but at the same time, the thought of not having to strain himself makes him wonder if it was actually a smart investment. He starts up the bulldozer's engine, only to discover that it runs on diesel, and his store doesn't sell diesel at all. This throws him into a panic, as the thought of wasting so much money on something he can't even use is overwhelming. He thinks for a second and realizes he could probably make his own diesel if he mixes kerosene and some additives. But when he's about to try it out, he realizes he could destroy the bulldozer's engine if he gets the proportions